Well, my name is Christina Burchard. I'm the director of the film.
My name is Kathleen, and I wrote the film, and then I was in it. Um, and the film is about these two women who want each other, but there's all of this like desire and fear sort of like standing in their way. And so they have to navigate these power dynamics. It's very much from Leah's point of view, my character's point of view. And so, yeah, there's like all this nuance to something, these dominant and submissive like power positions in any relationship. And so we really get into Leah's head, and she wants all these things. She wants to be with M, but it's scary, and she realizes that she's really kind of afraid of her own desire as much as she and M starts to represent her own desire in this situation before they can kind of cross the threshold.
I'm Boško Grubić. I'm originally Croatian, and I made with beautiful team of actors and my crew a very emotional drama, Lonely, or Samoća in original Croatian tongue. And film is life, about life philosophy, what's important in your life, family, friends. I mean, we get distant a lot lately because of technology, and loneliness is something that it's always upon us, and it's a big problem in the whole world because we become as people lonely. So this film is in that vein, and also is about life philosophy.
Yeah, so I wrote this actually as a short story before it became a film, and it was published in a literary magazine. I was interested in, yeah, really diving into the nuance of submissive and dominant power dynamics, and especially between women, I think, who are historically so often like subjugated or like take on a submissive role, like socially, and between us, how these dynamics still exist, and yeah, to really like navigate the emotional side of it.
That for me was a unique challenge as a director, was how do I take this piece that's based in language and put it into a format that is based in image and sound and touch. I wanted it to be very visceral. In the same way, when I read her story, the language was very visceral, and it, you could touch it, you could taste it, and I wanted people to feel that as well in the movie.
A few years ago, I met now very good friend of mine, Miro Gavran, who is a modern Croatian author and novelist. He writes a lot of plays for the theater. And I got to his book, which is titled Stories About the Loneliness. And there were a lot of short stories about loneliness. And there was a one that really resonated with me, which is this one. And as we were working on something else, on another film, on a feature, I said, why don't we immerse to see how we actually get dirty and on something shorter. So that's how this came about.
So we shot the film in 2 days over the course of night shoots in New York City. And it took about 6 weeks to edit. I edited the movie. Mm-hmm. And then sound design was really important to me. So we brought someone on to do sound design. And I worked with a composer named Jessica Weiss, and she did the music. The music is very sparse, but I wanted it with each flash, with each fantasy, the music kind of moves into a sort of psychological space. So there's one flash where Leah is on her knees, and there's a sort of almost religious undertone, to like a worship or like a religious undertone to the tonal quality of the music in that part, and then later on when she sort of breaks out and is really expressing her fear, and she's like, I don't know if I want this, that music starts to become a little bit more sort of chaotic. And then, and by the end, the music is almost entirely sound design, actually, in the final scene when she's getting spanked. And, I layered up sound design. There's even the sound of a panther. How do you bring the psychology of what's happening inside of Leah into a cinematic form? There was no dialogue. So I was using sound, I was using image to create a texture and a visceral experience for the audience.
We have a big cast, and we had to organize them, as it was not feature, so it's not a huge budget. So we had to execute many things on a short schedule, which we were able to do. But then we actually had a problem while we were in edit and while we were polishing. The main actor that you just saw his performance, he passed away. So we really did not have chance to actually correct anything or did any ADR. So whatever we originally recorded, that's it. So time passed, and we actually give people that were grieving time to grieve, and then bring him back to life this year.
So we shot in New York City at night, and this city, you can't control New York City, right? You can't control the circumstances. And so we just rolled with it, and it rained that night. So we wrote it into the script, and it became a part of the first night that Leah and Em meet, and they have to sort of shuttle together in the rain. And it created a beautiful,
a wet down.
A wet down is called. It created like a beautiful painterly quality about the light and the asphalt, and the texture of the city really, sort of came to life. So that was like a nice, happy coincidence, for us.
The main actor, Duško Valentić, he's a well-known actor in the former Yugoslavia and then later in Croatia. He really had a span of activity for almost 70 years. So he was a really known actor, and he liked to smoke. So almost after every take, he would like, can I have another cigarette? So that would be like his thing that he would always like, he could not be without it. It's like thing he would go towards. And, it's when I think about it today, those little subtle things really make our characters and make us who we are, and paint a picture of us, those little small things that some people sometimes don't even notice.
One thing that was really striking for me as a director, Anna and the woman who played Em, Christine, are very different actors. So Christine has a background in dance, and Anna's a writer, so a little bit more cerebral. And so when I was directing Christine, I had to approach them completely differently. Christine really responded to direction that was more physical. So I was talking to her a lot about animal qualities herself, like how she was moving, how she was posing. She really creates these beautiful shapes with her body as she's, I kept coaching her to take up more space. With Anna, it was really just about creating an atmosphere and a mood and a situation for her to be able to play the scene. So it was about creating a circumstance for Anna to just, to be the character, whereas Christine was more of a system of movement and touch and the quality of an animal, for example.
Working in the film that it's fully Croatian and that everybody have to get, especially looking at the director, I had to make sure that my Croatian was not lost in all this time, and that, I delivered the best possible direction to the natives, because, it's a Croatian film. Yes, I speak other languages, but crew and cast was Croatian. So the whole set was Croatian. So there is no switching. There is no switching to other languages. There is things that they like that they don't like. There are customs that we do in Croatians that we don't do in other countries. So you have to be prepared for those things. And, always time. Give yourself extra time, especially when you're doing something that you're not doing every day.
I feel really honored to be a part of this festival in particular, honestly. We have been submitting this film to multiple festivals around the world. And I think it's funny that American festivals haven't really taken on this film, which
it's true.
As progressive as America is.
Oh yeah.
It's just funny that this subject matter is really embraced by a European audience. And so I really appreciate that. I appreciate, having the opportunity to share this film in this festival among these other great films and directors and writers. So for me, it's a real pleasure to be able to share the film.
For me, the biggest competition is how the viewers or the audience takes the slice in time that we recreated, that we adapted from the original story, and then we put life into it. And are they reacting at the same places where I want them to react? That's for me the biggest thing. Are you crying where I was crying when I was cutting it? So or where I was actually getting my watery eyes on the set, in the places where I feel that everybody should get it too. So those are my rewards.